Whether it is wellness holidays for the dog or gourmet food for the cat, and also whether it is a master or a mistress, the owners of pets are really the animal's life companion. And this can cost the owner a lot. Bad for your own purse, but good for the companies that provide the service, and which in turn are interesting for investors. Our new zeitgeist cats and dogs, our four-legged friends, are nowadays expected to live as well as human beings, so-called pets humanization. And many people spend their increasing income on this. The possibilities extend from high-quality pet food to luxury beds or wellness treatments for dogs and cats. Not to forget the health of our animal friends, and here insurance companies can see a big market.
Ah, how pleasant a dog's life can be when master or mistress is willing to spend a small fortune on my well-being. Nowadays, instead of a bone, I get enriched, allergen-free pet food. And as regards quality, a lot of it's better than some of my owner's food. And once a week, I get a massage, and can really relax. By the way, the days when I had to sleep in mistress's bed are long past. Now I've got my own luxurious nest. Ah, a dog's life is great and expensive.
In the US, the highest revenue-generating region in the pet care market, around 60% of houses possess pets. Maybe it's different in Europe. However, we had to search a long time among the members of our institute until we found such a proud owner. I'm glad that he is also a profound investment expert. I welcome Bob Parker, chair of ICMA Asset Management and Investors Council in London.
It's a pleasure to talk to you in Frankfurt, and greetings from London.
To whom have you lost your heart, at least from an animal point of view?
Well, we have two wire-haired Dachshunds in our family, and one is called Benz, like Mercedes-Benz. One is called Hedge, like Fund.
And what do you have to pay for your animal friend?
I would say on average, in a normal year, it's probably €1,500 per dog. But obviously if something goes wrong and they have to have an operation, like last year, a back operation can easily cost €5,000. So in a normal year, the expense is reasonable. If things go wrong, it becomes expensive.
Okay, and therefore this sector is also interesting for investors?
Well, I have been very positive on the healthcare sector for many years now, and you could actually argue that investing in this is actually a derivative of investing in the healthcare sector. And also, given my caution on markets at the moment, I like areas which are undervalued and also where risk is low. And I think this is very much a sector like that.
Valuation, Werthstein Institute Fellow in Paris. We have heard from Bob Parker it's a market with a lot of potential. Can we go through the individual areas? Who benefits from this trend?
Well, pet care manufacturers are really leveraging on the growing numbers of pet owners and the willingness to pay for any kind of innovative and good products for their sweet little pets. Basically, retail profitability in that sector is between 35 to 45%. Profitability is also growing for food manufacturers, providing for the kind of food those pet owners are willing to pay for. Well, do you know why there is no mouse-flavored cat food?
No.
Well, that's because we humans buy the food, and we would find extremely distasteful to buy such a flavored food for our little cats. So actually, you can see there is no limit to anthropomorphism and the kind of food we are ready to buy for our lovely pets.
Many thanks, Valerie. Giles Keating, president of the Werthstein Institute in London. Something to add?
Yes, there is, and that's bird-flavoured food. We don't have food flavoured like birds or sparrows for just the same reason. But look, Stefan, joking aside, we've been talking about pet healthcare, but how do people pay the bills? And of course the answer is they need insurance. Market research suggests that in the UK, that can go from 976 million a couple of years ago to 1.6 billion by 2021. And that really is very good news, both for general insurance companies, but also for specialist pet pet insurers.
Thank you, Giles. We talk again soon. Before that, we go to Zurich to Robert Rothman Werthstein Institute Honorary Fellow. You have been an advocate for this pet theme for many years. Tell me why.
Well, I think that what we've seen from academia is that increasingly studies have demonstrated that pet ownership can have a very positive influence on human well-being, both physical as well as emotional. And as these insights increasingly enter the mainstream, I think that pet ownership can actually rise going forward, and that the 5% growth rates for the industry on average on a global level may actually turn out to be too conservative.
Going back to Giles Keating, our zeitgeists are mostly characterized by above average growth rates, but here it's only 5% a year. Yet it's a zeitgeist?
Well, it is only 5%, but I see it as being fairly slow but steady and, as much as anything can be, reasonably reliable. And I like that, to balance out what's going on elsewhere. And by the way, the valuations, although they're high, they're not anywhere near as high as in some of those other zeitgeists.
Speaking of valuation, what's happened to the relevant stocks in the past?
Well, we can see that these stocks in cats and dogs have outperformed the general market, but even having outperformed, the level they've got to means that their valuation is about 21 times on price earnings, which is certainly not outrageously high given those growth prospects.
You have heard it. A Werthstein Zeitgeist does not always have to be the latest technological trend with exceptional growth rates. It can also be more conservative, in part as a counterpart to balance some of our other more volatile zeitgeist. Whether as an investor or as a friend of dogs and cats, you can now add this theme, cats and dogs, to your Werthstein portfolio.